With the release of this album, Soul of Him, I thought about all the stories that I have of growing up playing in church and different things, and I thought, what better than to go back to the source? And the source is have my parents on because they know all the stories and can remind me of a lot of things that maybe I've forgotten about. So I have on with us today the original Arlington is what I call him, but Arlington Jones Sr., my dad, and my mom, Myra Jones. Well, thank you all for taking the time to come on and talk with me today.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
inviting us.
Yes. Sounds
Well, I
like fun.
appreciate it. Yeah, well, okay. Well, what I thought was that yeah, when I with this album Soul of Him, it, like I said, it made me really think about growing up in church. There's a lot of different stories, different things. Some of them I heard you all tell, and yeah, I don't even remember the specifics of them all the time, but I wanted to just kind of ask you all some questions and then let you all clarify and kind of remind us all of some of the stories. I know there was one where I don't remember how old I was, but there's one about I was playing probably just for the Sunday school, what we call Sunday school, playing hymns. And where the story goes that I started crying during while I was playing the song. Do y'all remember that story or exactly what I was doing and why I started crying?
Oh yes. Well, actually, we were in Chicago, and
Oh, okay.
uh,
Okay.
they asked you to play, and so you went to the piano and you began to play, and I guess you made a mistake or something. So yes, you just started to cry, but you played it again, and the church family, the people at the church were just encouraging you and just clapping and just doing encouraging you in a big way, but you were upset because you didn't play the piece like you wanted to play it. And so when you finished playing, I mean, they just gave you a standing ovation. You came back to sit by us, and you were crying big time. And one of the ladies in the church turned around and said, "Why is he crying?" I said, "Well, he didn't play the piece like he wanted to play."
Okay. So I guess that's funny because now I think I haven't changed. I don't bust out crying, but I guess I may be am I was I a perfectionist? Am I a perfectionist? Did I have that going on even when at that age when I was really young?
Most definitely so. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, especially with playing, you wanted to be your best at playing, and practically in everything you did. You it was up to you to be your best. Just one little teeny story. This has to do more with riding a bicycle. We were trying to get you to ride your bicycle, and you wouldn't ride, unless your dad was holding you. So we went to an outside affair, and a little boy that was smaller than you came. He was just riding his little bicycle, and you looked at him and you said, "He's younger than I am." And when we got home, you said, "Take the bicycle out." And so we took it out and put it out there. You got on your bicycle and you rode it for the first time all by yourself. So yes, you were a perfectionist.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, hearing that, um, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like not much has changed. Only thing that's changed is I won't start crying in the middle of a performance. But yeah, there's been many times I probably even asked Hope or whatever is like, was that good? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. And she's like, what in the world are you talking about? But okay, I did not remember that that story was in Chicago. I was thinking that was at church in Dallas, so that kind of really reminded me. Well, I was thinking of another thing that Dad had mentioned. I don't know if I'll have to
Oh,
share this picture,
okay. Yeah.
but you were telling me that. you were saying that I had started playing that piano or something. I don't remember the story about that. What do you remember about that?
I mean, you would just sit down and start playing with it, you know. So I guess it was kind of like a premonition that you would eventually move on and become a pianist. But struck up an affinity with that little piano.
Yeah. And basically, whatever you heard and you liked, you could just play it.
Huh. Okay.
Because people used
Okay.
to ask us, is he taking piano lessons? That was before you were even taking lessons. And yeah, you'd sit down and just start playing.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say was that it had to have been before I took piano lessons. I know, I didn't. It's my bio and everything says that I started when I was 8, but I know I don't know how old I was on this, but I know I was a lot younger, probably than 8.
Right,
But and
right,
I remember that I was playing on a real piano by the time I started taking piano lessons. So
Right.
right.
I remember that little piano kind of, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't remember that. Yeah, I would just start playing it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Just start
Did I
playing.
get it for Christmas or something, or what? Do you all remember, or
Yes, it
Yes.
or we
was.
got it?
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a
And
Christmas
Christmas.
gift.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Right.
all right, all right. Well, you said about me, yeah, just hearing different things and uh yeah, picking them up on the spot. One thing I remember is that mama, no, there was a grocery store kind of across the street from my house. We weren't allowed to walk across the busy street or whatever, but a lot of times, yeah, you would, just run up there and get something. But I remember you saying, put this song on if it was Clark Sisters or Hawkins Family or something. Um, Learn this. I'm go up here to the store, but learn this by the time I get back. Have this learned already, and I feel like, oh man. But I guess I would. My recollection is yes. Then it kind of. I think I remember kind of being like, I'm gonna get it before she gets back home.
Yes.
But I don't know. What do y'all remember about that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we did that whenever we were going to, if we were going to sing a song, or if I needed to know a song for a certain reason, church choir or the group we were singing in. And so I put the song on, like you said, uh, Hawkins, Clarkson, BB, and CC Winans, and I put those songs on, and I could go up there because I knew that all you needed to do was hear it. And so I said, yeah, can you learn this by the time I get back? And so when I got back, you knew it. And so then we could go ahead and practice and sing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
Well, that's
in my
cool.
mind, there wasn't anything that you couldn't play. And so, yeah, and so you were able to play whatever you heard. And then, of course, when you started taking music, then you realize a lot of the things you were learning as you were taking piano lessons, you had been doing those things. You had been playing them, and you hadn't had any lessons on them.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of do remember. I guess my recollection is yes. I remember like I wouldn't know the names of the chords or different things, but I do remember just you know it was things would come to me. I would hear things in my head and just play them. It's like I wouldn't worry about what it was or what it was called and
Hmm.
just playing. But yes, I remember it as take then start taking lessons and then understanding the theory and different things behind you know yeah, like you said, some of the things I was kind of already doing or was now I know it's just the Lord giving me just filling my head with music, filling
Yeah,
my body with music. And so I do remember that my learning kind of caught up with things that I was already kind of playing.
yeah, already able to do. And
Yeah.
I used to listen to you practice in some of the songs I knew, especially the songs you were doing, the pop songs and things like that, and the gospel tunes. And I would tell you, okay, Ollie, play that again because you didn't quite play that right. And then it was one of your uncles from Dayton, Ohio, and that is where he lives now. But
Hmm.
he was here in Dallas one time, and you were practicing and I said something and he said, let him play what he hears. And that was way before, you started with the way I hear it. So
Yeah.
yes, the Lord was blessing you with all kinds of things. And of course I didn't realize it at the time, but when he said that, then I just kind of let you go ahead and do what you were doing.
Okay. Well, that's interesting that I guess I kind of knew that, but that even goes in with this album. Really, everything that I do is like my recollections that I always, I enjoyed the original composition and how it was, written and played. But for me, my recollection is like it's like my mind, my body is always filled with other things. It was like, well, I also like to play it like this, and so it wasn't like I was you know, trying to disrespect what the original piece was, but in my mind, it was just my way of showing respect was I love this, but I hear it like this way. And
Okay.
so my expression, would always kind of be a little different. I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Because I feel like I was kind of different in everything that I did and played, but I don't know. What are you all's thoughts on that?
Well, as we look back, I guess, yeah, you were yeah, different is a good word, uh, because you weren't disrespectful to us or anything like that, but you did have things set in your mind the way you wanted things done when it came to your music and all those things. And so, um, yeah, you basically did what was in your head, the way you felt like it should be played or the way you felt like it should be done. You did that, and you weren't disrespectful to us. And I mean, I guess we respect the fact that uh, I did that you were a musician at an early age, and you were a musician in your own right, with the way you played. And even some of the musicians at our church realized that, and they wanted things played the way you played them, you know. And the one story that kind of tickles me, I don't know if you're going to bring it out later on, but you were playing for the church, and you were playing a hymn, but you were playing it the way you heard it. And so you played the introduction and everything. And when it was time for the congregation to come in and sing, we didn't know what the song was because you played the introduction the way you heard it. And when you realized that, you just, kind of chuckled, and then you told us what the song was so we could come on and sing. But I thought that was interesting too, and funny. But it was good. It was
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, but basically that's what art and artistry is all about. Not just to duplicate what someone else has done, but to bring and to display your own imagination of what you feel and how you interpret music or even in art. So to me, that's a good thing. And a lot of times when the audience may not pick up what the song is, I think many times they are lost in
Enjoying what you were
enjoying
playing.
what
Yeah.
you were playing and want to hear more rather than to
Sing.
sing along.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that because I admit I struggle with that a little bit because like I said, I was hearing things, but then as I matured, I realized there's like in church playing, when you're a musician for a church, then there's certain jobs and things that you got to do, and so if it's a congregational song, um, then the point is everybody needs to know where to come in and everybody needs to know where to sing. So I do remember that story, and I told that story a lot. But what you said there kind of helped me to, you know, even now hearing you say that, because it took me a while to kind of grow into the understanding of, yeah, not shying away from the creativity and the art, but then also understanding in different arenas. And like if you're going to play for church, that there are also certain jobs that you got to do. And so it's not always the best thing to bust out with your most sophisticated arrangement at the time of the congregational hymn, when it's time for everybody to sing and play.